My name is Amber McIver, and I will be presenting on the importance of language and literacy in early childhood. The state of Maine is ranking 28th in regards to education, particularly pre-K through 12, which makes up 50% of this ranking. We're number 17. 1 in 3 American students enter kindergarten without the skills they need to learn to read. To me, this is a huge portion of why children are struggling with reading and other aspects of education. If we can start to close the gap on this number, then we will be able to provide early intervention services and provide students with the skills they need to succeed in the first place. This video is going to show 2 babies, and as early as it is in their life, how they are using language and literacy already.
Hi girls! It's August. Is that right?
Yeah.
August 6, 2012. Daddy's gonna play them a little song while they're eating their peas.
You girls ready?
What did you notice? A big thing that I noticed is how they were looking at each other and mimicking each other. This is something that we do often as educators that we don't think about, things that we do as parents that we may not think about. That kind of skill does not come as easily for every single educator and every single parent. There's 2 types of language. There's expressive language, which is the use of language, being able to name objects, people, actions, being able to use words, take those words and make them into sentences, and communicating needs, which starts as early as infancy. Then there's receptive language, being able to understand language, being able to follow directions, identifying objects, people, actions, understanding questions that are being asked of them, and understanding concepts. There are strategies that you can use to develop early language. Whether you're a parent or an educator, these work for either position. First of all, you need to observe and listen. Observe your child, the child that you're working with, the child that lives in your home. Observe them. See what they're noticing about the world around them. See what they're noticing about the objects around them, and really listen to what they are trying to communicate. Imitate them. Say back the sounds that they're saying and mock what they're doing. Model the language. Give them the vocabulary to match the objects that they're using. Expand on their language. So if a child is saying, uh-oh, then you would say, uh-oh, uh-oh, expanding on it. Add to it. Give them more. If they say cup, pink cup. And try to limit the questions. This is something that is just natural to all of us. We want to know what the children know. So we're constantly asking them questions. What are you doing? What is that? What color is that? That's asking a lot of them. We're asking them to use their receptive language to understand what we're asking of them, and then being able to express what they know. by being able to just have conversations with them and give them the words, you're actually helping them better than asking questions all the time. Use self-talk. I am picking up the red block. Use parallel talk. You are picking up the blue block. That gives them the language to match the actions that they're seeing and feeling. Sing. Singing is the biggest part of early language. With children, with babies, as you just saw in the video before, those babies were already introduced to music and being able to match that rhythm, match that beat. Once the words are attached to it, it becomes a lot more likely that we remember things. That's why if you visit a preschool classroom, they're singing about the weather. They're singing about cleaning up because they're reminding themselves what they need to be doing during those certain times. It's a great way to remember information. Read to your child. With my daughter, I started reading to her as she was a couple weeks old. We started reading books. I actually read while I was pregnant with her. We would read simple books, and now she can read those books back. She can look at the pictures and point to the things that she sees at 3 years old. She can follow a story. These are early things that help in regards to building those early language and literacy skills. And just talk with your children. The biggest one of all is to talk. You don't need anything except the world around you and the child that you're working with or the child that is yours. Here's a little video about using some of these strategies just in your everyday life.
Uh-oh. Don't drop it.
You can see that with my daughter Hannah, she is a little bit of a daredevil. And one of her first words was, uh-oh. We use that with dropping. We use that with feeding the dog. We use that with a lot of things, with her falling while she was getting ready to walk. This was something that was constantly repeated when those types of actions happened. That made it easy for her to match the uh-oh to the actions as they were happening. There's all kinds of different ways that you can integrate language and literacy, whether you're a parent or you're in the classroom, whether you're in a daycare setting, a preschool, an elementary school. The biggest thing is interacting with children. As you can see in the bottom left, the father has the baby in front of his face. That way the baby can see him, can see the way that he is using expressions, can see the way that he is making the words and sounds with his lips. If you look in the top left, the two boys are looking at the pictures together. It looks like the older boy maybe can read already, but the younger boy is observing and just integrating with him and interacting about this story. On the right-hand side, the top picture, this is something that I do a lot in my preschool classroom. It's just sitting down with the kids and talking to them, talking about the toys that they're playing with and having conversations with them, whether you're building alongside of them or you're just talking about their creation. Instead of asking them what they're doing, talk to them about what you see that they're doing. In the bottom right, you can see that the mother or the caregiver is allowing the child to hold the book. That shows that the child is directing everything. The mother or the caregiver is not reading it to the child. It's more so what the child is observing. Use language in your every aspect of your life. Whether you're grocery shopping, talk about the different fruits. Give your children choices. Give them a way to express their language. Whether you're making cookies or making ornaments or those little the salt dough ornaments that you're making with the handprints, or you're cooking, or you're getting ready for school, you're brushing teeth, or you're eating lunch at school, or lining up, talk to them. Model what they should be doing. Give them the language and the vocabulary to match you'll notice that they will start doing the same thing. In the car is the best place. In the 21st century, the biggest and easiest thing that we do, and I've been guilty of this myself as being a young single mother, you give your child a tablet and they're quiet and you can drive peacefully down the road and you're not distracted. But another thing that you could be doing is talking to them, talking about what they notice outside, talking about what they did during the day, talking about your day. Give them that language and those skills by modeling how you talk to another person. If you look in the bottom right, you've probably seen this placemat at a restaurant before. This is a placemat that we have at one of our local restaurants, and this is something that we do often. So, as I have said before about my daughter, we have a 3-year-old, and whether I'm with my parents or my friends or whatever, this is something that we do. We started with H. So I would show her what an H looked like, and then I would have her try to find an H. And we would play this little game. And now that she's getting a little bit older, we start with more letters. So if you find an H, okay, can you find an A? Just these simple little skills are giving her the ability to recognize her name, being able to see letters in different places, being able to access her knowledge. Oops. Oh, cheese balls, yum. Sorry about that. Oh, cheese balls, yum. Mmm. What's all this? Mine. Minnie? Minnie? Did Grampy get you that? Oh, wow. As you can see, I use some of those strategies. Something of when I'm doing these types of presentations and going back and using some of my own videos from teaching or from parenting, I notice that myself that I ask a lot of questions. And in a lot of my research lately, I've noticed that that is not something I should be doing, and that I need to change how I communicate too, because where I am a teacher and a parent, I always want to know what my child knows or what my students know. So I always felt that I should be asking them questions when really I need to be modeling more for them, giving them open-ended questions, giving them opportunity to really strengthen their language and literacy skills. Frederick Douglass once said, "Once you learn to read, you will forever be free." And this is something that I have as a professional goal. I try to instill the love of learning and literacy within all my students and within my own daughter. And I hope that I can give students and my own daughter the skills that they need in order to be successful readers, but also to be successful learners and successful members of society. Thank you.